Okay, well, at least that's happening. And streaming and recording are going. Well, let's hope this works. I hate doing these things. It's like, oh, they couldn't hear your voice. Oh, that's good. So, yes, it's Rob Sacchetto doing zombie things in his zombie studio. The zombie portrait guy who invented zombie portraits way back in 2006? That was a thing? Yeah. Turns out no one was doing it. We did all of our due diligence in looking for anyone else that was doing zombie portraits, and no one was. So we went with it, and then here I am, many years later, still doing adding to the zombie art empire. So yeah, if you are a fan of zombies and you're a fan of art, this is the best place to be, because there is no shortage of that, and of me drawing that. I do other stuff though, you know. Don't paint me into a corner too quickly. Yeah, I do other things. Some I dare not mention, and some legit gigs, illustration jobs and things of that nature, and the zombie portraits, of course. So yeah, it's wonderful thing. So, and doing a zombie drawing every single day, is quite a feat, I would imagine. I mean, for anybody, not just myself, but like just doing anything like that, creative, like a day, like without fail, is pretty huge commitment. So I kind of take pride in that a little bit, I guess. But you know what? I never think of things like that. It's always about, like, what am I going to draw next? Like, what am I neglecting to draw next, and things. And I know I got to get my ass on Cape Fear 2. Man, it's a mental thing. It's a mental thing right at this point with me. I'm like, it's a war of attrition, man. It's a war of attrition, And I think the reason why I'm so prolific in every other, I'm doing my own psychoanalysis, man. And you guys tell me if you've ever experienced this, but like that's kind of what it is, where you're jumping from project to project and stuff. So I don't know where I was going with that, but I'm sure there was words of wisdom somewhere in there sprinkled in. Kind of lost track. Looking too closely at Godzilla's back fins, man. I got a zombie up that stuff. I hope I hope you guys can see what I'm doing here. Oh, you know what? Oh, my dear. I'm going to, my apologies, guys. I thought I turned the ring light on, but I didn't. And we're missing a whole bunch of light here. Where's the switch? Oh, there it is. Yeah, much better, I think, right? Okay. Yeah, I think even better for me. But there's still a shadow there, but my apologies, guys. So Godzilla's fins. Like from childhood, Godzilla's been my go-to of everything, like he's such a dear friend to me now, an obsession, and I don't want to say obsession. It's more like a very strong interest. Like, there's dudes out there, who are, like, I don't even know some of the alternate names of some of these things still, probably, like, maybe I do, but that's not the point. Is, like, I'm nowhere near the knowledge of most, like, Godzilla super fanatics out there, like comics too. Like, I know quite a bit about comics, obviously, because I've collected like my whole life, you know, lifetime nerd, man. And you just get knowledge from being that kind of person, you know, a collector, and you know, being interested in whatever genre thing. So yeah, but like I'm not super knowledgeable like some historian guys and things like that. Like, you know, just an interest, very strong interest is what I meant to say. And I collect Godzilla stuff too. In fact, you know, I don't often collect Godzilla stuff. Like, that is the guiltiest pleasure of all time. But my sister, what a great sister! Like, every Christmas and special day type thing, I'll get like a Godzilla thing. Like, whether it's a little like a toy of some kind, like a figure, like an action figure, or what, a shirt, you know, it's a Godzilla thing. So I owe my sis, you know, all the kudos in the world for you know, keeping me furnished with Godzilla stuff that I dare not, you know, get into and start buying, because I'd be ruined, you know. So yeah, that's how that works. Yep, yeah. Yeah, thank you, Doctor. The musings you have when you draw, and you, like, you know, and you sort of know the territory. So it's not like you're on autopilot by any means, like, but you know the territory, right? So you're inking in the way that you would normally ink that type of area, whatever. And you're doing that like 500 fucking times, or excuse me, you're doing that 500 times, and you know, pretty soon your mind will drift, right? And you start thinking about everything, right? And like with like microscopic detail, because you have the time and you're on the subject, right? So yeah, that's how I get when I'm drawing now, like, you know. And I don't want to insinuate or, like, you know, say that, oh yeah, like I'm just doing it on autopilot, like I don't care. Oh man, nothing could be further from the truth. That's why I think I lack consistency. But I don't know if I do. I think that's something I'd have to hear from other, like, from either critics or people that like my art. Whether or not, because I find my style so much varies with everything, you know, and it kind of has to with all the different kind of art I do, right? So this is just like one of a billion type of, because I'm doing this specific thing, Godzilla. You know, you can kind of get away with anything when you mutate them and show them that close, right? There's so much stuff you can do, you know, like skin flaps and tags and burnt, you know, flesh areas, spikes in weird areas, like, you know, pustules and craters and like all sorts of things. Like, I think one of the best things I discovered for myself, and I do often, because I'm not a book reader guy. I discovered that like whatever it needs ink wise, you can use, like, as long as it's controlled or whatever, like for what you're doing, right? You don't want something that's out of control unless that's the intent, but you know, that's not really comics as such, unless you're Bill Sienkiewicz or something, you know. But you want a steady line, more or less. Like that's the goal, is to make your art sort of, you know, have that slick almost feel to it. At least that's the kind of popular thing right now, right? So, you know, yeah. See there, I don't know where I was going with that either, but darn tootin', I'm gonna say something. Yeah, skin flaps, burnt areas, you know, and then in watching, you know, practical horror movies, practical effect horror movies, you get that real tactile sort of thing, like, instilled in your brain at a young age, so you kind of copy that, like, heavy Wrightson-ish type look, you know. I don't want to say that's indicative of all artists, but like, you know, chances are they tried to emulate that style a couple times in their you know, in their come up type of thing, right? You want to emulate your gods, right? Like I went through an awful like Bisley era and Mignola era. Oh man, like that would actually get over like these days. If I published that, like no one would bat an eye. Like it's good enough. Like that, you know, that's the kind of art, and it would actually be probably above some like, you know, indie stuff, right? But yeah, it's bad, man. It's like, it's stiff, I think. It's just not me, man. It's me trying to be someone else, you know. And like, I tried it out. I tried on the suit, man, and it didn't fit, you know. Looked awkward, looked forced, I think, you know. Maybe people would like it. I don't know, right? I don't know sometimes, and that's sometimes you discover that, hey, like, people really dig this style. I never thought it would get over, but, you know, here we are. And then you lean into it or whatever. Like, you go, okay, well, now I can actually feel comfortable being in this style type of thing, you know. And I actually thought about that quite a bit when doing the first Cape Fear. That's why I'm so terrified of doing it now, because I have about, and you know what? Here's the news. Here's a news flash, man. You heard it here first. There will be pages in there. Like, I don't really want to redo them, but so my intent is to have them in there. But they were done like probably 15, 20 years ago. No, not that long. Maybe. So they might clash with my current ink style, you know. Maybe you might notice it, and I'm kind of like, that's kind of cheap. But then I'm like, I did the pages, but are people gonna notice? I don't know. So anyway, these are things I think of, man. Yeah, what's that called? That Woody Allen sort of thing. When you're always nervous and thinking about things, and I can't remember what the word is, but yeah, see this stuff, this inking here is totally out of like heavy metal, man. Yeah, and that's kind of like what I'm leading into with this. Like, it's almost fanciful. It's not really almost realistic anymore. It's more, I don't know. There's like weird lines, and like I'm doing that kind of now on purpose more. So because I didn't know I didn't know what how this was gonna go down as far as inking until I started doing it. So, and sometimes you don't know because this is just a sketch, you know, like a fun sketch, right? It's absolutely going to be on my Patreon when it's done. It is content for that for sure. You know, it's a zombie daily drawing, so I'm working on a zombie daily drawing, and you know, hopefully, if this is recording and all that stuff, I'm gonna actually start painting this zombie thumper from Bambi. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing that like right after. Oh, and then I've got this going on too. The latest, one of the latest anyway. Zombie pinup divas. So you saw it here first, man. Like before it even hits my Patreon, or if we post this on Patreon, hopefully maybe we do. I want to put more content on my Patreon for you guys, man, and get more. You know, hopefully get more interest. I would love that, man. So that's Zombie Daily. Yeah, it's on my Patreon. But anyway, yes, this is going on there. Of course, gonna hit that 1100th zombie pinup diva on Halloween this year, of course. So I'm pretty close. You know, we're on the way. We're in the home stretch, man. I think I got 40 more to do. 40 more, and that's I think doable. You know, like, I mean, yeah, it will be. Like, I mean, there's no way that's not happening. You know, so yeah, I gotta set goals, man. So yeah, amongst all the other things, you know, there'll be some really cool exclusive posters coming up for a certain organization that I am involved with that has facilitated the use of facilitated the actual recording or live thing you're seeing right now. It's live, but it might, you know, obviously it's a recording, but I am doing this live, and I hope you guys are seeing all this okay. Just going in and out with some cool lines, some details, you know, maybe creating little creatures within the structure. You know, I love, and this is one of the, yeah, I think I was going to say this earlier, but I lost track. But anyway, the greatest thing is when you're drawing is to think of a background story for your character. Yeah, like how did it get here to this point? Like what are the signs? You know, like you know, did it, like, you know, for this specifically, I would say, like, you know, did it mutate? Probably with some kind of weird toxin and who knows what else, like weird radioactive, like, you know, events happening all over its body because of death, rebirth, toxins, radiation, like its own weird, you know, cellular structure and all of that. Like, what happens? Does it ever die? Blah, blah, blah. Of course, it doesn't, you know. But, you know, how does that work? How is it affected by... And you think of those things, and that adds to the, drawing, right? Like, you know, it's like, oh, now I can kind of get away with, like, tubercles, you know, coming out, and because you've given yourself the license to go, like, oh, okay, you know, it's that kind of mutant thing. So having that backstory, you know, kind of solidifies those inking or drawing and inking choices. You know, so always have a backstory. Really helps you flesh out the character, even minor characters in the background. Like, what is that guy, you know, behind Conan thinking, like, as he's swinging a sword at him? Like, you know, why is he doing that? Like, you know, and I'm telling you, like, you'll make that face better. Like, you'll make that face that you're drawing better if you give that wee character a background story. Like, trust me. Like, that's one of the best pieces of advice I could ever give. And like I said, I think I just discovered that on my own. I don't think I read that anywhere. And it's, again, like, I'm not saying I made that up. Like, I made up that concept, but I kind of discovered it on my own. But it is, like, such a like, real help in drawing. You know, having that mental image of how that character got to where it is in your drawing. Yeah, a real big help, I think. You'll learn to love it. Yeah. Yeah, try it out. Give it a spin. You know, and then you could go, oh, I'm going to put, like, bone sticking out or something. Like, yeah. Because you're giving yourself that freedom, right? Especially when it's a sketch, like, or when it's a, you know, drawing like this where it's content that you go like, oh, my fans would love to see, because my fans love Godzilla, my fans love, obviously, zombies, and they can't get enough of that, and I can't get enough for drawing it, so, you know, yeah, man, I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna come correct, man, I'm gonna, like, draw Godzilla zombies as often as, you know, not to the point of overkill, but it's not Godzilla Zombie Daily, it's Zombie Daily, so. But sometimes I get carried away because, like, even with the Pokemons, you know, I was doing them, like, I was doing so many, the Pokemons. Okay, old man! Did I say Pokemons? I did. That's awful. Anyway. Yeah, even with the Pokemon, like I was on a roll with them, and then I was like, oh no, I'm posting them way too much. I don't want to like make this the Pokemon zombie channel type of thing. And but I did the week long because people were digging it, man. I was like, okay, good. Like I'll do a week long, But then I kind of always feel like, oh, I'm doing too much of this. So I want to break it up, but I don't want to overkill any one subject because that's, and man, like that's the one thing about zombies too that's so awesome. Or another thing rather is that like you could do endless things like with it, different stages like of everything on Earth, like every living thing on Earth. Like what are the stages of this zombie drawing in particular? And then, it got to be that way a different way. And, like there's so many variations. It's endless, man. It's literally endless. So, and that's kind of what I'm doing, man. Like, I'm joining the endless with zombie drawings, man. Yeah. Yeah, that's my thoughts. Douche. But, yes, just making this stuff up as I go along. You know what, maybe I should... Is this better? Yeah, I hope you guys can see this. Like, yeah, I'm just rambling, man. I'm just rambling. It's kind of just, I'm kind of going with the flow of the art, and just making it up as I go along type of thing. So, yeah. So, art advice. People always ask me for art advice, and I'm like, yeah, well, I've been there, and I'm so glad I can like help people because a lot of times like I've been in not so much like I don't want to say no, I will say recently because yes, yeah, that was recent. So no, you know what? Almost all the advice that I have kind of is universal for I think artists. Even if you're like doing digital or whatever you're doing, if you're in any one of the industries that does print or video games or anything, like I've likely kind of been there dealing with things like that. So I might be able to offer advice. And not say like, oh, this is, not tell people what they should do, but say like, look, this was my experience with that, I was on a radio show and they asked me to do this and, things, right? Things, even bookings, man. Like even if you become a really, big entity in your field, just stuff like that, like, advice about that too. So, anyway, whatever. Anything. I'm very open with any advice I can give to people who want to, pursue any kind of art. Like even as a hobby, man. Like there's nothing wrong with that either. Like you don't have to try to make a living. It could be a side hustle too, obviously, right? I think a lot of people do that, and to their credit, man, if they can make money doing it, more power to you, man. That's so awesome. Like, I love that, when people get over that way, it's great to see, like, perseverance. And then, even selling your product or even having a product or an art thing that's really cool, like, blockheads or like, things like that are almost homegrown, that are one of a kind. Like, man, that's so cool. And it's like original art, right? Like it's, man, that stuff is going to be very rare one day soon, man. Oh my goodness. Yeah. At least that's my thoughts. Like I can just see these coming now. And I'm thinking to myself, like, people are super blasé about it right now because, hey, like, you know, there's all kinds of other things going on in the world, you know, and financially and stuff too. I get it, but there's also people like spending billions of dollars on things that are so. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. I'm just saying, like, I would strongly suggest that y'all start investing in original art, like comic book pages, like covers, like any original art that like is done by hand and is used in publication or otherwise, like like holy crap, man. Yeah, like it's gonna be rare. It's gonna be rare, you know. And like there'll be like 40 people that own it all, man. Like yeah, if people don't start doing it now, like I almost think that's gonna be like not real estate, but you know, it'll be one of those giant things one day soon. Yeah. Like where all the originally drawn, original painted have been now owned. No one's doing it anymore, man. I wonder. That I don't know. But like things that have happened in my lifetime like have like just like blown my mind. I'm like, how is that happening, man? So like for me, like anything can happen. Any damn thing. And will. So I'm just riffing on the scales, man, and all the other areas, you know. So yeah, I hope you can kind of see that, you know. I'm gonna do some veins in the arm again. Like I'm gonna try to get it more in frame. Yeah. And you know, add some like almost root like veins, you know, across like opposite the muscle groups and details on thereof. Yeah. So you want it to sort of, you know, cross the opposite way of the muscle groupings. You know. And then here's me giving advice. You're seeing what it's, you know, what it's doing. If you wanted to do that, do it like this. You know what I mean? Yeah, like if you think, oh, okay, I get it. Like it's very simple. Like it's very simple to do. It's almost like dots and dashes. You know, you have to know where they go, of course, but that just comes with the practice. But when you know, see how I do it, which is, to me, it's weird because I can already see how dudes do it. But like it's hard for me to imagine you not knowing how it's done, right? Because like I already so it's very hard for me to, unless I know what you're looking for too. I'm just sort of generalizing on a lot of stuff, right? So I'm not saying like this is the only way to do this. Like you'll find your way, but here's one of the ways to do it. And if you want to kind of, you know, use that technique to, you know, start yourself off. By all means, like use it. You know, it's a style. It's a way of inking to create. What do you call it? Structure, texture. Depth and shadow and like form and all that stuff. Like even function, right? Like. You know, if you're not just, you know, if it's not just in a small you know, comic book panel or whatever, you want to be able to show you know, structural things, right? And Yeah, it's always good to be able to do it even on a microscopic level, man, with the super details. And the what, number 3? I was using a number 2 here. Yeah, here we go, number 2. But yeah, I've gotta give, like, this is all nicely detailed and all that kind of stuff, but I have to give it depth because it's kind of flat right now, right? Like it's, it's not peeking out like this. This is noticeable, and by the way, this is gonna darken up too. Like this area will be darkened too, to give this arm, like to make that arm pop, right? So the contrast will make the arm pop, and feel more forward. That's why it's got that thicker holding line, yeah, you want to create that contrast. You want to create the contrast to put the focus on things that are coming forward, towards you or towards the audience, right? So, like, again, these are so kind of maybe to a lot of people obvious. I don't know. I'm just sort of starting at the, like, I'm just starting at the kind of rudimentary level, I think, right? I don't know. It's even hard for sometimes, like, for me to look at my own art and be able to critique it. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know where I stand. I still feel like I'm an amateur. Like, I always have to prove myself, I think. I don't know why, but maybe that's the thing that sort of keeps you going, like, you're like, yeah, man, I gotta get better, like, I want the next thing to, really blow people away. It's like, that never happens, like, but that's your intent, right? So, excuse me, you want to do things, you want to really improve. Yeah. So the thing here is that his death ray, for lack of a better term, is firing up, right? So it's getting lighter inside his gullet, so to speak. And I think I might reflect that in his eyes too. I don't know. Like, I might make it like dead, like make them like more dead white. Have them like, just a white ball. Which I'm gonna do anyway. Here we go. I can't help myself. I gotta do that. Like, that's the only way to show that. For this anyway. Yeah, for this kind of drawing anyway. It's got to be those types of lines there. Yeah, the EC, like, entire EC comic staff type lines there. Crandall. Yeah, so just adding more details here and there to flesh more things out. Add more weight and depth. So for that, I'm gonna use. See, this is right here. Like, now that I'm looking at the camera, and I'm like, oh, you know what? Like, it kind of makes you sort of go, if I did this, I'm going to do this right now, and it makes that vein very heavy, very thick, very Baisley, like, yeah, man, I still, like, you can't not unlearn, like, a good vein trick, man, like, or anything, like, if you stumbled on something, or through, doing, someone else's style for a while, and they had a really good idea that, kind of works for you, maybe you kind of take that with you, along with you, and it's not like anybody would really even maybe notice, but it's kind of in your arsenal type of thing, and you're like, oh, I'm going to kind of do that Capullo, zip, 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 like type of inking, and like, you know, just like like those really simple but dynamic lines, and that's the beauty of his work. Like, it's very simplistic, but man, is it so well executed and dynamic, you know, which is weird because it like he has that kind of blocky style, you know. But man, like, can he ever pull it off, man? Like, great work. Like, he was always like good. I thought he was always great. In fact, maybe a little like above some of the stuff, some of the other artists. But he wasn't. I don't think he was as recognized. Maybe, which is. He did Spawn for a long time, and I'm sure that was a great gig. Like, I'm sure that was a great gig, especially for him. Like, that was kind of, I think, up his alley in terms of, you know, what he liked to do. Maybe subject matter, which I wouldn't blame him for. Like, that's awesome. Like, you know, that's great if you found what, like, that Kyle Hotz guy, like, man. Like, he's a horror guy. Like, he's you know, he's a rights and student, you know, student of rights and type of thing. Super heavy blacks. Kelly Jones, right? Kelly Jones. Man, like there's another dude. you know what's I find weird though. I hate saying this, man, but like and I just find it weird, and I don't know why. Like, trying to figure out like the reason for it, but like sometimes these guys that I really love and like have admired and like revered forever, like they have like when they have an off day or whatever, it's awful. Like, it's so fucking it's so like repugnant, like. And I've seen some of the stuff where it's like, this guy did that? Like, what? How? You know, and I'm like, why did they kind of leave that in? Almost, you know, why didn't they fix that or change that? Or they were maybe like, the deadline was like too insane. But then, you know, oftentimes they get other artists to pull together and try to, you know, get it done to make it. But man, some of them are just awful, you know. And then, which is really weird, you get surprised where you know, you got an artist like a comic book artist who you've never heard of, and like on a book that you kind of, you know, don't really care about, but you want to get it anyway, just, you know, to sort of fill a collection or whatever. And you're super surprised by how awesome the dude is, or chick is, or whatever it is. Yeah, it like it's awesome finding that. Like, it's awesome finding that. The only thing is, I don't find they stick around. You know, I don't see them on regular books, or maybe there's some that are coming up by them. I don't know, but or maybe they still do indie stuff. I'm not sure. I don't really follow all the indie stuff, but usually artists of that caliber are kind of like, you know, Image, Dark Horse, what have you. Yeah, there's a lot of companies out there, I guess, still. Yeah. Anywho. Yeah, just riffing, guys. Oh man, come on now. I can't, you know, can't catch a break, man. Yeah, I hope you can see, you know, what I'm kind of doing here. Or if you just want to hear me, yeah. Rattle on. You know how this old man likes to rattle on sometimes. Yeah, just creating things, surfaces that would go along with this, you know, version of Godzilla, right? Godzilla, Godzilla, Godzilla. Yes. Gojira. Oh, man. Man. Memories. Being a kid and being introduced to Godzilla movies, man. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. That was wonderful. Godzilla's my friend. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. So, here we go, man. Here we go with some, let's get it on with some Godzilla action. Godzilla zombie action. So, there, okay. Get into position. I have to be more wary of that, guys. My apologies. Yeah, I have to really get down on myself and get on it. Yeah, I gotta get on that. I gotta get on that for reals. So yeah, I'm gonna be more wary of it. Because yeah, it's like I don't realize sometimes where I'm slotting the paper, right? So yeah, here. And then if see there it is, there it goes again. See, this time I caught it, but yeah, like I'm not into moving my eyeballs. I want to only look in one direction. I want to look in one direction only. Yeah. Okay, now, douche. Okay, now, is this the 8? Is this the 8 I was looking for? Perhaps. It is? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a good 8. It's a good 8. So these are Stadler pigment liners. I'm doing a commercial for them. No, I'm not. But hey, man, Stadler, if you want to throw me some sponsorship money, I would surely continue to sing your praises because hey, man, you know what? In fact, I will even one day prove to you how much of them I use, and you will, and you'll go, man, I never thought it would lead to this, and you will be right. But one day soon, I will show you how dedicated I am to Stadler pigment liners, because and don't get me wrong, I love other pens and pen companies, but for the majority of the work that I do, the Stadler line, which I guess the biggest is 8, I think, or 10 maybe, and then they go to like 0.005 or something like that. So super wide array and range of pen nib. It's not a nib. It's like a synthetic maybe fiber. I don't know. But it's really good. It's resilient. Like it's fairly resilient. They last for a pretty long time, and I find they have a flexible and like I said, don't get me wrong. Like Pigma pens are good too, but I find they're a little more stiff again for what I do. You might find that a plus. So And man, like there's so many others, right? There's so many others. I'm just talking about the kind of ones I use mostly. But and you know what? This guy right here, I call him out sometimes. I'm like, where is he, man? My Tombo. Is it Tombo? Yeah, Tombo, man. Like, Tombo! And I'm like, you know, I call out for the pen, man. So I'm trying to find it because it's awesome. Like, it is really awesome, too. I love the... I love the pen nib and the ink and everything. It's great. So I try to use it often as well. Gives you a nice sort of a thicker line that you can actually thin out if you want. You can press a little harder, and it's got that flexibility. So I like it. It's my Tombow. Yeah. It's like a Saturday morning cartoon. Yeah. Thing. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a Saturday morning cartoon next, man. Are there still such things? No. It's just it's got to be like streaming and yeah, there's no like, but there's Rick and Morty and that comes on at a certain time, right? I don't like what's the kind of difference? I don't know. Musings. Rob the zombie guy musings. What is Rick and Morty? See, and here I go again, man. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so it's coming along, man. It's coming along. There's some depth. There's some depth in there, and now I'm going to add more. Yeah, this ink is a little browner, I find, than a mid. But yeah, I still I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's great. Tombow. Tombow. What is that from? That's got to be from something. I just made it up. Yeah. A word that nobody uses, so I just made it up. Oh my goodness. Oh, excuse me. Get up. Get on up. Get up. So, the only thing missing from my regular drawing night is, of course, music. And that is tearing me apart, like you have no idea. So, I'm gonna end the stream or recording or nothing. Whatever this one does, whatever happens this time, I hope it worked. I hope that my agent and friend and lover, Doug, can chop this up so it's coherent, man. So yeah, I think I'm gonna get to drawing with some music, guys. And then, you know what? Maybe one day I'll learn to listen to, public domain stuff. Do that and have that in the background because, yeah, it's you guys must know what I'm talking about, man. If you need, or if you enjoy, music with the things that you do, like these types of things, like drawing, maybe reading a book. I don't know, like maybe that interferes. Depends on who you are, right? So, but you gotta have that music, man. Like you gotta have it there. So, yeah, doing without. This is the first time in probably ever, guys, ever. Heard it here first, say. That I've ever drawn without music. Yeah, it's cracking me up. It's cracking me up, man. That's why I'm like kind of all over the place here. There. Yeah, see, I'm kind of all over the place, but you know what? I actually at this point, except for this part here, I kind of like. I kind of now look for areas that need something else. So that's what I have to. That's what I kind of do, is just go all over the place. Every time I see an area that could use detail or depth or like a shadow to make it more poignant or whatever. That's how you kind of do it. You just look at it and you're kind of all over the place, like fixing little things that visually bother you, or kind of go, oh, okay, I can make that better or whatever. So I'm in those stages now. It's almost done. Like, it's almost done. So yeah, you stuck with me this long. Yeah, if this even worked. Yeah. So there it is. And then I'm sure there's some scales that I'll add more more detail too. But this area is like kind of in the background, in the shadows more. It's the roundness of his back that goes to the scale. So and here it's defined. Here it's not defined. Yeah, here it's defined. Maybe I should undefine it. I don't know, but I think it should be kind of black. I think it should be black or dark, very dark. Yeah, so I'm kind of on the fence. I think I'm leaning towards making it darker and more mysterious down there. Never miss a chance, do you? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'd like to kind of make it more mysterious and darker, and I think that would help it in the two ways. That way, making it darker and more mysterious, and creating the contrast for the arm. Yeah. I don't know if all y'all are wrestling fans, but I'm still a wrestling fan, man. Like, I'm not like, and you know what? I think everybody does this. I think everybody always has to explain what kind of fan they are, and I'm no different. Like, because I don't want that to conjure up a idea of me like sitting in front of a TV like watching wrestling every week. I don't do that. I follow it. I'll watch highlights, but that's kind of about it, But I love the like pseudo sport, I respect it too. I think it's like a really hard thing, and it's a really tough life for your body and mind and all that stuff. And no matter what era you were in, there's still a lot of like hard things to do, like missing family things and taking like really harsh bumps and all that kind of stuff. Like, and yeah, I'm talking like a smart mark or whatever, like by explaining it that way. But that's how else would I explain it, really? Like that's the kind of those are the words they use to describe what that is now. So it's kind of commonplace, right? So anyway. But yeah, tough, man. And there's always these crazy stories that you hear where it's like, oh, because the guy got over on his own. Like, what? Yeah, brilliant businessman. I hate it when they blanket somebody who makes like utter blunders, like all the time. A shrewd businessman or whatever. Or a brilliant businessman. Like, come on, nah. Like, fuck. Ooh, damn it. I don't know if that's... I have to watch that, guys. I'm sorry. You know. I'm not sure how that even goes over on platforms now. Like, is that considered like a no-no? Or I have a feeling it does have an effect on your reach or I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I guess on YouTube though. But who knows? Like, I don't know what I really don't know what the that specific thing, like swearing or whatever a swear is considered now. Like, you know, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I gotta watch that anyway. Okay. And yeah, man, like maybe pronouncing some more of those teeth in the jaw, you know, making them a little thicker, maybe making a little more, putting a little more focus on them, you know, putting a thicker holding line around them to, you know, make them pop, you know. Excuse me. Yeah. There. I kind of want to finish this because it's so close to being finished. Maybe I'll do that, and then I gotta trip, man. I gotta get some music into me. Yeah, I won't survive much longer. It's like a fish out of water. Yeah. Yeah, like it's, you know, it's something like this could never be finished. But yeah, it's like kind of finished. I will probably accentuate a couple of parts and things if I discover them and see them in the morning, type of thing, you know, like this could be like continued like right before it gets scanned, type of thing. Like I could just put, oh, there's another area there I could put. Like you can do that forever, but you know, at some point people won't care to look at it anymore, right? Like, and that's not why you shouldn't do things. Like, by the way, but you know. I don't know, I kind of tend more to go to the, you know, put as much detail as you can in, you know, even though nobody cares, almost, sometimes, you know. Like, Jeff Darrow, man, oh my god, like, that dude, his work, it's almost like, and I hate to say this, but it's like I almost don't have time to look at it. Like, it's, like I should be killed for saying that. Like, oh my god. But, like, and I can't imagine, like, you're talking to an old timer here. Like, that's me saying that, and I'm like, I'm old, man. Like, I can't even imagine what goes through, like, a person that was born in, like, the aughts would look at that and how they would react to it, almost, you know, like they don't have time to look at it, which is the pity, you know, because like guys like Darrow and oh wow, there's a lot like of, you know, European artists and that too, especially that have that kind of like ultra detailed stuff. That Ron Jose Rip, I think his name is. He did the last series of, he did books in the last series of Wolverine. He has a really, like, a very super detailed style, like Darrow. He puts a lot of details, and actual details, not like lines, you know, not just lines. So yeah, yeah, but you know, here we go, just inking it up, and I think that arm is suitably, you know, pronounced. You know, I think. So I'm gonna kind of leave it, right. I'm gonna kind of leave that. That's done. That's good. This area back here, which I really darkened, like I said I would like to. Now really contrast that arm, and it almost looks like there's a piece of him kind of coming off. You know. And it's I think it's inked to the point where it's very textured. Lots of texture in there. Like you can feel the roughness and the veins and the scales and whatever else, like, is growing on his forearm there. Like there's all those weird veins and scars and what have you, details. Like they're not just like lines. They actually create a form, right? So there's different kinds of detail. Like there's different kinds of detail that people kind of blanket with the word detail. So yeah. And I'm doing all these crazy lines. This is typically not like Jeff Darrow kind of does it, but it has like a lot of detail in it. It's just differently executed, So, yeah, I don't know what this is more like. But Simone Bianchi, yeah, I really like his. I think it's a he. I think he's Italian. Could be a woman. I don't know. I actually have not looked into that, and doesn't matter to me either way. Just a great artist, whoever it is. But yeah, I never understood that whole argument about, or maybe it isn't an argument. I don't know, but I think I was in a debate with someone about women in comics and like them suggesting that men have kept women out of comics, and I thought, did women want to be in comics? I don't know. Like, is that like I know there was some women in comics. And still are, obviously. There's lots like Trina Robbins and Marie Severin and Jenny Frison. I don't know if she does interiors at all, but she does like crazy good covers. Yeah, there's a lot of women in comics, and I think now, or I could name a lot of them anyway. But I don't know if men ever kept women out of comics, or they just weren't really into doing them. And if they were into doing them and good, why would they keep them out? Like, I never understood that. And I felt like I had to almost defend it and go like, well, by the late 70s, didn't matter who you were, you could come up with an indie comic. In fact, since the dawn of time, you could always do a zine or a fanzine or whatever. Like, that was always available to you as an option if you wanted to get into comics. So you couldn't really keep someone out of the business, because they're like, you're making your own business. Like, you're just printing a couple of books for your friends, or maybe bring them around the neighborhood and see if people want to subscribe or whatever. Like, that was kind of the thing back then, right? So, yeah, like that's why I think there'll always be, comics, because anyone can do them, right? So, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but maybe comic artists, I don't know. Ramblings of a madmanson. Yeah. There we go. I think that's probably good. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good there. Yeah. 5 hours later. Yeah. Yeah, so there it is, guys. I'm going to use an eraser. And you know what? Here's this too. Oh yeah, and I'm going to probably do some Pokemon zombies next time. So if whoever's hearing this at this time, if there's anyone, I'll be doing Pokemon zombie drawings in the very near future. So But I'll announce that so everybody kind of knows about it. I hope this recorded, or at least streamed and recorded, or whatever. I really hope it did. Okay, anyway. Yeah, I think that's it for today. Okay, Zombie Godzilla coming to Patreon soon. I would love it if you guys went to my Patreon, which I will put the link somewhere very close where you can't miss it. I would love it if you went to the Patreon. I'd love it if you help support my Patreon, even at $1 a month or $2 a month. I would rather have 1,000 people doing that than 10 people at 20, man, because that's hard. Like I totally understand that, man. But if I could get 500 people on Earth, on planet Earth, to donate, or help support me, rather. It's not a donation. Here's the thing. And I think I've mentioned this many times, but I always try to mention it again, because I know there's a lot of people who haven't heard it, or maybe understand the whole thing. But my Patreon basically is set for the people who support it. The money goes to buy art supplies, and to buy better art supplies, or just more art supplies in general. So it doesn't go necessarily into my pocket, other than the art supplies that I use to create more content, which you subscribe to, So that's the circle. I think it's such a neat circle, and you guys get things out of it in terms of you get to see the art first, you can make suggestions of what I should draw next, everything, all that stuff, and if you could help me out for that much money, it's very little, honestly, and man, it makes such a difference, So you've heard it all before. You've heard me of several content, creators that given the pitch and all that. But do a lot of them do daily art do people post stuff, new stuff every day, and do you have fairly decent artists doing that? That might be a rarity. I'm not sure, but I think I'm giving a pretty good, bang for your buck type of thing. Getting to see traditional art again that even in itself is a lost thing. It's becoming less of a thing. So anyway, we'll talk about that another time. For now, Zombie Godzilla, guys. Check out my Patreon, and I will see you all again very soon. I'm gonna get off my chair now. Oh my God, that chair is so creaky. You just opened the scary chair.